Hello, and welcome to our first partner webinar of 2024 with Bold Group and Responder. Today, we will be going over the Manitou and Stages integration with how Responder revolutionizes your alarm response. We're going to go ahead and start with our first poll question. So, do you currently sell guard services to your dealers and or customers? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll now and then share the results. So at this time, it shows that 18% do currently sell guard services, 64% say no, and 18% say not sure. So just a few housekeeping items as we get started. This webinar is in lecture format and all are muted for the session. The webinar tools are available in the window on the right-hand side of your screen. To collapse the screen, you can use the right arrow to slide it out of view. To ask questions during the session, please enter them in the question section of the tools window. We will be answering questions at the end of the webinar. The session is being recorded, and you can expect the recording to be delivered to your email this week. Presenting today for us are Paul Armstrong, Strategic Partnerships and Integrations with Bold Group, Frank Pietrobono, SVP of Sales and Business Development with Responder, and Blake Galvin, Senior Sales Engineer with Bold Group. Today, we're going to be telling you a little bit more about Bold Group itself, about Responder, doing a demo of Manitou with Responder, and then we will go into some Q&A. So I will now turn it over to Paul to go over Bold Group with you.
Thanks, Sarah, and hello, everyone. We're here to show you how excited we are about Responder's integration with our alarm monitoring solutions, but I'd like to take a few minutes to give a brief overview for those who are not familiar with Bold Group. We serve the security industry with leading alarm monitoring and business management solutions that deliver optimal business performance for security operations, monitoring centers, security dealers, and integrators. The Bold Group was formalized in 2019 following the acquisition of multiple security companies that included Bold Technologies, Perennial Software, Secure Global Solutions, and SIMS. By combining these top security companies, Bold offers a comprehensive array of solutions that empower security leaders to be more efficient, effective, and focused on safeguarding life and property. And today, Bold has nearly 150 employees, and we continue to grow with the support of our parent company, EverCommerce. This is a glimpse of our extensive product offering, which is divided into two business units, one for our cutting-edge alarm monitoring software and the other for our sophisticated business management solutions. And each product is designed to meet the unique requirements of companies regardless of their size. We also provide mobile support or solutions for the flagship products, ensuring a wider range of options for our customers. Okay, so I'll sum this slide up by saying that Manitou and Stages have robust capabilities that drive efficiencies in your monitoring. They're designed to give you more control, to improve operator efficiency, and deliver measurable metrics to give business growth or to drive business growth. And while the solutions address the needs and challenges of your organization, they also simplify the day-to-day operations. Okay, one of my favorite topics. We understand that Bold software is the backbone of your security operation, and our success is largely rooted in our partnerships and integrations with industry-leading companies like Responder. So over the years, we've developed an ecosystem of more than 100 technology partners and integrations to maximize the value of our solutions. And our partners help ensure that Manitou and Stages continue to evolve and meet the growing customer needs. So during the demo, Responder and Bold will highlight how the integrations deliver operational efficiency, total transparency, simplified billing, digital reporting. And with that, I'll turn it over to Frank with Responder. Thank you.
Hey, Paul, thank you so much. And I'm really excited to be here. As you know, this has been a long time in the works. We've sort of had starts and stops, but we're happy to be here, happy to be a partner with the Bold Group. And more excitingly is we are excited to show your partners, your monitoring station partners, and our potential future customers how they can make more money and be more efficient at the monitoring station level. So without further ado, I mean, this is not about us lecturing to you. We're going to make it a little more interactive. Blake and I are going to put the Blake and Show on when we do the demo. And I'll just start off with giving you a little bit of a high level of how we sort of got to where we got to today with Responder. As you guys know, I mean, our houses and businesses are getting ever so smart, and also the monitoring stations that are supporting them are keeping up with that. But the fact is that the police and security services that support all the technology aren't keeping up. What happens is that we feel there's a bargain at the heart of our industry, and we think that bargain is broken. The bargain is that customers buy security systems, they attach them to a monitoring station with the expectation that when something goes wrong, the police are going to show up promptly. Now, that's the implicit bargain at the heart of our industry, and it's been there since we started the industry a long, long, long time ago. But we know that that ain't so. And the fact that that is happening puts the monitoring revenue at risk. If your customers are expecting something to happen and it doesn't, then that puts the revenue at risk. It puts the dealer revenue at risk. It puts the monitoring station revenue at risk. When they're trying to sell a customer and they're going door to door and selling them a new system, and the customers start to become aware that the police are not going to respond in a timely fashion, it makes it tougher to sell a system. And if I'm sending you an invoice for $40 or $50 a month for monitoring, and you know that when you need that system to go off and something happens, nobody's going to show up, well, that increases the likelihood that a customer is going to most likely cancel their or not renew their monitoring contracts. So Responder set out to fix that problem. And what we did, we'll just wait till the slides catch up to me. There we go. We protect and grow the recurring revenue, and we do it using a network model. The fact that, sorry, we'll just keep going here. Here we go, sorry. There. Yeah, so we use a network model and a network approach, and I want you to keep three things in mind as we show you the demo and as we talk about Responder and the Bold software together. First, what we did was we federated hundreds of guard companies coast to coast into one single network under one banner, Responder, so that all the guard companies are aggregated together in one single network. The second thing we did is that we knew it was important to integrate into the automation software. So we approached the Bold group and we said, we need to be native into Stages and Manitou, so that when an operator is working within the software to clear an incident, the workflow stays within the software. What that does is it keeps the customer information all in one file. It keeps the transparency right there in the software, the reporting, and all of this, like I said, is integrated into and native into Stages and Manitou. And lastly, the way we service the market and the way we do what we do uniquely is that we network the guards under one software. So the customer also gets the experience that they expect in 2024. And just to summarize all that, I mean, you're getting a one-click dispatch from a monitoring station perspective with full visibility within Stages and Manitou with no more hold times. There's no more needs for your operators to pick up a phone, to phone a 1-800 dispatch center to try and transmit the information of the alarm over a phone. That's not necessary anymore. It's one-click dispatch. What that does for all of us, including yourselves, is it gives you fast and consistent response times. Think about the amount of time that your operators spend on a phone trying to dispatch an alarm and the amount of time that it takes for the other side of it to accept it and get to a place in a timely manner. We close that gap because you push a button, it comes to us, we find the closest available guard, and you'll see how we do that, and then we dispatch them to the site. What that means for you is that you get real-time response, transparency, and reporting. So when a customer calls back in and talks to operator 23 and says, hey, I just noticed I missed your call, what's going on with my alarm? Yes, we dispatched the guard, his ETA is 12 minutes, and he'll be on site shortly. And you have all that information without having to pick up a phone to call the 1-800 dispatch center again. All of this is delivered to you in a network model for the guard companies. So without further ado, and I think I've spoken enough about what we are and who we are, we really think that the power in what we do is seeing it. And we're going to do a demo, and I got to tell you, it's the first time we've ever done this with the automation company and responder at the same time. And that's what I call the Blake and Frank show. So Blake, I think you got first crack at this, and you're going to try and launch an alarm for us.
Well, real quick, before he does that, I want to step in and do a real quick poll, just so that we can kind of get an idea of where things are at with our customers and with our audience out there. So let's go ahead and send this out. And so what is your best estimate for the amount of time that it takes an operator to dispatch authorities for an alarm event?
We should have the Jeopardy theme playing at this time.
I know, that's a good idea. We need to do that next time. I could sing it, but let's not do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and share the results. So it looks like at this time we have 67% saying 0 to 5 minutes, 20% saying 5 to 10 minutes, and 13% saying 10 plus minutes. So at that, we will go ahead and go into the demo so that we can show you how Responder would very much help you with those times. So Frank, did you want to say something else in regards to that?
No, this is great information from the poll. Actually, that's kind of in line with some of the studies that we've done with monitoring centers as well.
Okay, well then we will go ahead and go to the demo, and I will start it when you're ready, Blake.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys, and thanks for the introduction. Go ahead and kick off the demo here, Sarah. We're going to start, and for those not familiar, this is the latest version of our Manitou web client. So this is available on-premise and in our cloud solutions, but for training the staff and operators, we have this handy manual signal tool. So we'll send in a simulated alarm event. Looks like a backdoor intrusion. So we've got a perimeter burg. We'll go ahead and send that in. Again, this is great for training new operators. They can simulate alarm events, go through the procedures, learning the system. But we'll go ahead and accept our intrusion event. And here we have a basic set of procedures we've laid out for the operators. As Frank mentioned, this is a one-click dispatch. So all the operator has to do is send the command and put in a simple no. So we'll go ahead and say hi to Frank and pass that alarm over to the responder system.
Awesome. So just pause here for 1 second. I want to explain, I just want to summarize what happened. So alarm came in, operators went through a triage, they went through the Manitou software and said, okay, can't get a hold of anybody, we have to dispatch this alarm. Now, remember I told you that we use technology to fix the problem. On one side of the screen here on the right side, you'll see our portal. This is our SaaS-enabled technology program that basically federates and aggregates all the guard companies. Right now, there seems to be in demo mode only me. I'm the only guard here that you can see playing guard. And on this side of the screen, that is the Uber-like app that I drive around with as a guard so that the software knows where I am at all times. Blake just launched the alarm to me, and now I could either accept it or reject it as a guard. So now we're going to fast forward here, and I'm going to show you what happens at the station side of things. On the station side, and Blake will show you this on his side once it gets done, the alarm was triggered, the operator's waiting for somebody to accept it, and basically they dispatched it, and as soon as I accept it as a guard, that will start to fill in the information back to the station. So now I accepted it as a guard. You can see there that it was me, the guard that accepted it. My ETA is 1 minute to this alarm, and the contact information for the monitoring station is right here as well. So if the monitoring station needs to get a hold of the guard, can you pause that for 1 second there, Sarah? Yeah, if the station needs to get a hold of the guard, they have the phone number. Also, here's what's really important, and this saves so much time. How many times does your operator dispatch an alarm, key holder calls back 5 minutes later and says, oh my goodness, I forgot, I changed my cleaning company, forgot to give them a code, so please cancel the guard. So they can also cancel this alarm with the one-click cancel as well. I know we're not going to show that in the demo today, but I just wanted to show you that there is an ability to cancel this alarm with one click not having to pick up a phone to phone a 1-800 dispatch center. Sorry, Sarah, go ahead. So once I accept it, oops, as a guard, it goes back over to Blake, and Blake's going to explain what happened here.
Yeah, so in the meantime, after we've sent the dispatch over to responder, the operator can work on other events, but eventually they'll come back into this event, and what they're really looking for is an update. So if we look below, we can see in the activity of the account that the command was successful, it was taken by the guard, and we even see a little estimated time of arrival. So based off of that, the operator can continue to move through their procedures. It's asking if they would like to close the alarm event at this time, but we're going to go ahead and hold on to it. We haven't received the final update from responder. We can see they've arrived on site just now, so we're really just keeping an eye on the activity. We want to make sure we're on top of the event. We can see in the details that new signals continue to arrive, so one of the handy features is if you'd like to suppress all of the additional signals and updates coming into the alarm, you do have that option to suppress the updates. But at that point, we're going to let the guard do their thing.
Excellent. Thanks, Blake. Yeah, so now I'm going to play guard. Obviously, I got to play guard here. I'm on site. It asked me if I verified the address. I did verify this address. I make sure that I'm actually at the right address, and I'm going to continue on with my investigation. Once I accept this, and I navigate to the site and I verify that I'm at the correct address, the system is going to be asking me, what kind of property are you at? We give them a different selection here for the purpose of the demo today. Obviously, we're going to just say we're at a house and we're at a residential. And as soon as I pick that, now I got to satisfy different elements of this report. The first element is, hey, I got to walk around the place and I got to make sure that everything is secured. So start with my front door, take a picture, check the door to make sure it's secured, and then move on to the next side. We always ask them to do a 360 of the property where possible. Get to the next side. Everything that's at grade level, we take pictures of and make sure it's all secured. So you're kind of getting the idea here that, we're making sure that the property is completely secured as we take pictures and walk around. Same with the right side. And as I'm doing my investigation, if I see something wrong in the picture, in the window, I can make a little note here and maybe say, saw a small crack in the window at the bottom somewhere, and that goes into the report, and the customer can end up with that report as well, so they understand that the guard looked at that. Then we get around to the back, and if you remember, Blake launched the back door security intrusion alarm. So now I'm making my way around to the back, and as I'm getting around to the back, again, same thing, check the door, pull on it, make sure that everything is secure, take a picture. And once again, I can make a little note here, and maybe the door handle was loose or something like that, and make a little note in my report. We always ask them if they see any vehicles on site to take pictures and make sure that they kind of get license plates as well. So again, same idea here. We take a picture of the vehicle that's on site to include that in our report. Now I've completed the one element, as I said before. The second element of this report that we have to complete is, do we know what caused it? Now, good thing is we're all in a happy case here. Everything was secured and we really don't know what caused it. And as you know, 98+% of these things are false alarms. But if something goes wrong, we want the guard to identify it. The next element that we look at is, was there anybody on site? Again, same idea here. If there was somebody on site, we need to make sure that we get the information. What's their name? What's the relationship to the owner? In this case, it was Joe, the window guy, that was on site, and he said he was a contractor, a third-party provider, and he identified himself, though. He was nice enough to give us his driver's license, and he did explain that he was on site and he was doing some window washing on the outside of the building. And so we entered that into the report and make sure that we spell it correctly. If not, we always go back and correct our spelling. There we go. It's my fat finger sometimes. There we go. And Joe's so happy that day that he said, hey, get a picture of me. I want to be in the report. So we put him in there and took a little picture. Now, I review my report. I can look at all the elements I just satisfied, and in the happy case, again, where I did my job correctly and made sure that I checked all sides of the building and took my pictures, answered all the questions, I could submit my report. Now, before I just submit this report, I'm just going to push pause for 1 second because, what we want to do here is I want to explain what's going to happen here, because as we submit the report, at this point, the station knows that I'm on site, as Blake identified to you earlier, and now you'll see what happens as soon as I submit my report, and then I'll hand it back over to Blake. So go ahead, Sarah. So as I submit this report, all of the information that I just wrote in my report gets populated back into the responder portal, and most of that information gets transmitted back to Manitou as well. And as you can see, the photos I just took are there. As a guard, I go back on duty, wait for my next mission, and I can review all of this in the portal or through my Manitou software. And I get all that information of when the alarm was triggered, how long I spent on site, and all that information. And now I hand it back to Blake because he can give you the review from the monitoring station side.
Yep, perfect. So as the operator, we go back into our incident and our alarm, and if we check down below, we still see just the arrived status. So we're waiting for that final update to come in. In the meantime, we can be looking at the responder portal, as an operator to see the updates as the guards working the event. And there we see the finished alarm and the final update come back from responders. So these are all just coming back as signals and updates to the existing alarm. So we know that it was, in fact, just a cleaning guy on site. We're going to go ahead and finish our alarm event with the appropriate disposition or resolution. This ended up being caused by the customer and their third-party vendor on site. We'll put in our resolution and a quick little comment or note for our audit trail and reporting, and we can go ahead and close the alarm event. So as you can see, very little effort on the central station side, really just interacting back and forth with the guard.
All right, thank you so much, Blake and Frank. That was a wonderful demo, and we will go ahead and put this information up for you. So if you want to know more, you can email boldsales@boldgroup.com. And now we'll go ahead and go to our questions. So Frank, one thing that has come up is, are individual guards licensed? And
yeah, so go ahead, sorry.
And are they armed, or do they have the option to request armed or unarmed?
Okay, great questions. First of all, let me start off by saying that the Uber analogy breaks down when it comes to, like, if you want to compare us to an Uber, it breaks down because we don't use individual licensed guards. We contract mostly with what we call licensed guard agencies. So we stop at what we call the unit of guard company. We don't go to, like, Paul, who's a guard that works for a big company in the daytime, and then at nighttime he's sitting there having dinner, he's running our app and sees an alarm come in, he throws on a vest, jumps in his Impala and races down the street to go do an alarm response, and maybe he even delivers a pizza at the same time. We don't do that. We definitely stop at the unit of agency, because the agencies are responsible for hiring the guards, uniforms, licenses, insurance, and all that other stuff that we do. And every one of these guard companies has to comply with state rules and regulations that they work in. So they definitely are licensed. As far as the second question, are they armed or unarmed? That's a preference of the companies we do work with. Like, when I say companies, the monitoring stations, the dealers, the integrators. Our system is very intuitive, and it has skill set routing. So we could potentially say, if a company says, look, I only want armed guards responding to my sites, we could definitely filter that out and send only armed guards. The risk there is that you may not get the fastest response that you want, because the guy that's not armed is, again, Paul, who's just around the corner, but Frank, who's like 40 miles away, he's armed, but he may take a lot longer to get to the site. I think that when we did a lot of studies with end user groups, and one of the questions we always asked was, what's the most important thing to you when your alarm goes off? And everybody said, we want somebody there quickly. We really want somebody to show up as quick as possible. The second thing was, we want them to be professional. We want them to be licensed. We want them to be, not just anybody. We want somebody that's that knows what they're doing to respond to the site. So I think from a consumer perspective, they don't care what kind of badge you're wearing, if it's, you know, if your logo has a horse or a dog or a dragon on it. I mean, they don't care what color it is. They just want somebody to get there quickly. And that's what we do through the network. So we definitely could send somebody that's armed if that's what they want, but we like to send the quickest available guard in the area to respond to that alarm so that they can identify what's happening on site. I hope that answers the question.
Absolutely. Thank you for the information, Frank. Well, at this point, we're going to go ahead and wrap up for today. As we indicated at the beginning of our webinar, you will be receiving a recording. And if you have any additional questions or would like more information, please email boldsales@boldgroup.com. Thank you
Sarah?
again and have a great day. Yes, Frank.
Sorry, just before we wrap up, though, I just wanted to add a couple of things because I know we were pretty quick today, so we've got a few more minutes. We work a lot with different various monitoring stations and dealers. One of the things that we've done over the last year is that we've really helped monitoring stations and dealers increase the recurring revenue. One of the marketing programs that we introduced to the market was called a Convert the Core. I noticed that in your first poll question that a lot of people don't sell guards as a service today. Well, that's something that we definitely started doing, and we started helping people, showing them how to do it. I mean, you had 64% of the people say, no, we don't sell guard services today. Well, I want to show those 64% of the people how they can make more money by selling guard services and by not getting any of the headaches by using Responder. I mean, we manage a network of guards. We deal with companies that have that monitor in multiple states, and I can imagine that the headaches that they would have if they had to contract with, 5, 6, 7, 8 different guard companies in order to get the response. But we take care of all of that because our technology manages all the guards. So having Responder as an option in the monitoring station and selling it as a service to the dealers, or if you're selling directly to end customers, even better, you're making even more revenue share. It could increase your recurring revenue by 17% by doing absolutely nothing other than getting the customers that are on your network today to convert to a guards as a service model. And we've proven this out. We've done this with many thousands of cohorts. And when we send out letters, we get 90% of the customers agreeing to take the guard service in order to move forward. So it's something that's exciting for us. I mean, I'm not selling guard services. I'm really selling you guys a way to make more money and to keep the customers that you have by making sure that somebody responds when the alarm goes off. But I just wanted to add that because I think it's so important today.
Absolutely. Perfect. Paul, Blake, either of you have anything else before we wrap up for today's webinar?
No, I'd just like to say, obviously, we just showed Manitou today, but the integration, of course, it just exists with stages. So we're happy to set any follow-up meetings or any other, further discussions any of our customers would like to have.
Perfect.
Absolutely. And I would add, if anyone has any integrations that they're interested in and want to know if we've already partnered with someone, we'll be glad to share that with you as well. So thank you for joining.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time today.
Bye.
Bye-bye.